когда мы говорим об университетном третьего возраста, когда я закончила мой проект по третьему возрасту, главное иметь в виду, кто перед тобой. Мы же знаем, что в классе третьего возраста могут быть и те, которые закончили университет, и те, которые закончили профессиональную школу и работали. Да? То есть мы должны организовать так курсы, чтобы им было полезно. То есть мы не можем преподавать те же курсы, что преподаются в университетах студентам. Ripeto la domanda perché le dico quello che ho detto io. Come si fa ad attivare, non attivare, ad attrarre le persone a partecipare ai corsi? Io ho detto, allora per sull'Italia ve lo dice professore Moretti, in genere quando noi parliamo, questo ho detto io, quando noi parliamo dei corsi per la terza età, per le persone adulte, dobbiamo tenere a mente che nell'aula possiamo trovarci persone che hanno finito le elementari, le medie, ma anche persone che hanno finito l'università. Quindi il corso deve essere fatto in modo da attrarre tutti e soprattutto deve essere useful, d'aiuto,
effettivne
per tutti. Quindi mai si deve pensare che un corso che si propone agli universitari deve essere proposto alla terza età. Come funziona questo in Italia? In inglese, da schiacciare il microfono, please.
So in Italy, the question is the second. We have different levels of students that have an older age. Okay. The first thing is that we must understand that it's more important the mental activity for people who have had a low level of instruction, who have a type of work not involving the brain, not so much involving the brain, because these people have a major risk to reach the old age in a worse quality of life, with a worse quality of life, with a more risk to become not sufficient. So the first interest in Italy is to people who have less instruction. Okay, and for this reason, the type of education must be proposed at an accessible level for all people. Frequently, we use arguments that are interesting for a lot quantity of person, like cultural aspect, historical aspect, some ICT, and so on, languages. So all things that allow to satisfy some type of interest or basic interest of people. And then we can arrange the courses in a different level considering the different starting level of the people. So an entry level for people with a low instruction level, and levels of major intensity for the people who have more years of instruction in his past. Okay, all people is very interested in general to this type of courses, and we have no difficulties to have people who desire to enroll in these courses. It's very simple, it's very easy to have people do that. Certainly, we have more difficulties to engage the people with a less lower or a less level of a lower level of education. that are the people that have more need of this type of education. Okay, so the problem is to have a dissemination of information in all the parts of the cities. For example, the success of popular universities is linked to the fact that these universities are born by the syndicate, okay, the travel organization. That are this organization have a capillary organization and dissemination of the territory, so they can reach more people, and frequently people who have a lower level of education. So using this different type of university like UNITE, that is more attention, give more attention to people with higher level of instruction, and the popular university that is more disseminated on the territory, we can reach a lot of people, and we can have a good effect on the social population. Okay.
So for to understand, we have some University of Third Age, that is our center of third age, that are in the universities, like UNITE, giusto? University of Genoa, and we have other centers of education or other popular universities for third age education, like Hauser, that is linked with the syndicates.
Thanks. We already in the National Pedagogical Dragomanov University, we also have this Institute of Long Life Learning as a separate department, a separate unit. But unfortunately, as far as I know, their courses are not for general public. And to be honest, this unit, educational unit, it doesn't work properly at all. Not only on commercial or on voluntary or grant base. So it was very interesting for me. Is it popular? I mean, education of aging people. Are they motivated to educate in these educational units, and and who's paid for this education? Government, personal, I mean, this aging people, or it's a social responsibility of university? What kind of organization, management and financing of this education, third age education?
Rispondo io? Okay. So the third age students pay a small sum, but really small sum. The teaching at this university is for free. So all the people who teach there is for free.
Mm-hmm.
So here you can see that not expenditures. The only expenditure is to find the place. And then the University of Genoa is, for example, is of University of Genoa. Now that gives the classes. At Hauser, I think at Popular University of Third Age Education, it's region that space, but probably Professor Moretti can be more.
Yes.
Paga.
Hauser is a syndicate for retired people, and the formula that they use now is a fee for all the courses one can attend. There are no limits. It depends on the time you have, your free time and the possibility to move in the city to reach the room in which this teaching are performed. And this is the new system that substitutes an old system in which people who want to attend to the courses have to pay the fee for the inscription to the syndicate. Okay, so we have now in a situation in which we have disjointed the two questions. One is the syndicate, and one is the popular university, and the fee is only requested to pay the little staff that manage the organization, and because all the teachers teach free. Okay, no one is paid for what. The most part of the teachers are retired professor teachers, or professors that are still working, like me, okay, but that make this activity as one of the activity for the society. So it's a good manner to seem to be useful to the other. Okay.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you. And also at our university there is a department of adult education, and in this year they open two specialities, andragogy, and now they are open. They're trying to open to accredit to certify the course gerogogy. Are there any similar courses or specialities in Italy?
Apart the specialization of geriatry or similar in the medicine field, okay, there are some teachers. For example, I am teaching in a course with the name Diagnostic Techniques and intervention techniques in old age. Okay, it is in psychology, and there is a great movement in Italy for what the new name is geropsychology. Is a profession that was born in the USA about 10 years ago, and now is spread in the world, and we are working as psychologists to train people and specializing in aged people. The job psychology is not dedicated only to aged people, but is a psychologist that has between his patients also aged people, because aged people have different needs respect of children or adults. Okay, and so we are working in this sense, and we have these courses here in Genoa. But if you go in Padua, where there is the biggest faculty of psychology, there is a lot of courses in psychology of aging. Okay.
Thank you. We've finished the research theme by our state fundamental research fund, conceptualization of cognitive technologies in education. And one of the most important part was cognitive technologies for aging people, because they do have many specialities, and not only restrictions, but also possibilities, but we need to take it into consideration when we are forming or teaching courses for aging people. Yeah.
Okay.
Diana, you're tired. It was very interesting, a lot of information. Thank you, dear Professor Moretti. Thank you, Diana. It was very, very interesting and very tough, I mean, in mental sense day, and very interesting. So discussion, that's it for now. Elena or Gilles.
Yes.
Well, I would like actually to raise the issue of lifelong learning, adult education, and third age education. From what I understood, third age education is more about still entertainment and socializing. Whereas in my understanding, what is called lifelong learning is more about, is equal to what we call adult education in Ukraine. And it's more about professional development and the change of profession, which is the requirement of our time, so that people whose jobs are not in demand anymore could obtain another job and get another profession. Am I right or am I wrong?
Probably here we can find, you can find 2 points of view, probably, I don't know, because as for me, because I'm just finishing one book on active aging, and I just, it's 1 year, Professor Amoretti knows, because he calls me every time quiet, says, what about the book? Because he should do some introduction to my book, okay? But from my point of view, after analyzing all the theories about aging, all the theories about education, I can say that third age education is a part of lifelong learning. I don't know what is the idea of Professor Amoretti about.
No, I agree. I agree. Lifelong learning, it means that you are always in training from when you born, when you die. Okay. Third age education is probably the last part of this lifelong learning process. And is particularly specific because the lifelong learning in the adult year, for young and adult is finalized to a continuous process of engagement in new jobs or in new activities and so on, and you must have new competencies. Third age education is not finalized to have new competencies for work, but is finalized to maintain active your brain and to be an active part of a society, even if you are no more an active part of a productive process. Okay.
One more provocative question. I'm sorry if my English will be unclear. I remember your slide with these 2 key points about active aging. The second one, I will start from second, is that active aging is deeply connected with mental health, brain, and mental activity. The first part of your slide was that physical activity positively impact on to the active aging and health well-being, but if it's related, work related, I mean, I think if you mean that it's hard work conditions, yeah, it impacts negatively. So speaking about mental activity, if this mental activity is work related, how does it impact?
There is a different, a substantial difference, because work activities is impacting on physical. So we have a process of deterioration of our physics owing to the type of activity I'm doing. If I work hard in a mine or in a fabrics, in a farm and so on, I have a big work for my body and a big work for my heart and so on. A big work on mental health, on mental activity is another thing. I maintain engaged and well-performing my brain. I was clever, I was rapid, I can preserve my capacity, my cognitive capacities like attention and memory and so on. And this is very important to be performance in an age in which the physical performances are not so requested. Okay, I cannot more make a run of 60 meters. Okay.
Why not?
Because I can die after 2. Probably.
Why not? You'll never get a chance.
I can study, I can read, I can speak with you, I can have some confrontation with other people. I can maintain a high level. Don't forget that this type of capacity, cognitive capacity, particularly memory and so on, a part of memory, is subjected to possible develop also in old age. Other no, okay. So you can. Do you know the best book of the most important literature writer? Okay, in the world are performed when we were old, not when we was young. On the contrary, the best performance of a mathematician is when he has no more than 55 years old. Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
So
interesting.
We must joke on this kind of things. We can work on this type of cognitive processes to maintain ourselves better.
You're really lucky, Professor, because I think that you don't know anything about professional mental exhausting and professional, yes, this. So I tried, it was a sort of joke because, for example, for bodybuilding, carrying a heavy weight, it's for pleasure and for his, even for his mental well-being. But carrying heavy weight for worker at the factory, it's absolutely negative result. It's exhausting process. So I tried to make a comparative analysis with mental work and physical work with exhausting effect, and mental work for pleasure, for hobby, for entertainment, and physical work for hobby, for pleasure, for entertainment. And probably mental work, I mean, for us as educators, the necessity to write a lot of paperwork, a lot of articles, books, Diana, yes, and it's probably, it's just my presumption that it's probably similar to hard work at the factory for worker, physical worker, and we cannot say that every mental work is for positive, for increasing or enhancing capability. Maybe sometimes it's sort of exhausting process, similar to physical.
Yeah, but the problem is that in the
1 minute, 4 minutes, please.
1 minute is 1 minute.
For this reason, I have a garden.
Okay. The problem is that physical work is a work that make our body less performant in the long time, owing to the consumption. This is not true for our brain. Our brain has the capacity to renovate, to regenerate, and so on, owing to your work in mental activity. Okay.
I will subscribe your point of view. I'm also optimistic. Thank you, dear Kavida.
There are a lot of scientific data in cognitive processive studies in Andalou that demonstrates that this is real. This is the truth.
Can I also add to the discussion? I would like to quote, in Ukraine there was a surgeon quite famous, Amosov, and he a doctor, as a doctor he observed his life, and some observations of his life at the end of his life were, if you want to live longer, be hungry, be always tired, and then your mental activity will be okay. So somehow he really linked the smart mind, the healthy mind, with a lot of physical work. As a surgeon, he had to stood like for 10 or 20 hours making the surgeries, and also not to eat much, not to enjoy food. And this was his recipe as a doctor. So maybe there are different opinions about physical work, how much tired you should be, and what impact should it have on your mind.
But it was a doctor, yeah?
Yeah, he's a surgeon.
Yeah.
Yes, a famous surgeon.
You must speak with a farmer, a worker, a mind. It's very different, the work of a surgeon, a medicine, and a hand worker.
Okay, I agree.
Probably for farmer and worker, it will be a good solution to be a very active man in mental plane.
Yeah,
because another famous Russian scientist, academic Ivan Pavlov, he's a founder of principles reflex theory in medicine and psychology. I always use his rule when somebody asks me, "Oh, what's this? What's your secret?" I always answer, "It's a secret by academic Pavlov." He noticed that if you want that your right hand to give your right hand to rest effectively, you need to do something by your left hand. Not to have your right hand in rest, but to give some activity from your opposite side. Yes, and changing the type of activities. For example, if you are a mental worker, you need to do something physically. If you are a physical worker, you need to do something in mental plane. Sure. So it's my solution, probably.
Sure. That's right. That's right. Jana? Jana left. Jana
for
left.
A while, hopefully.
It's too late. She must go to
but
class.
we found, we've agreed with our solution for health aging. What is your personal advice to be in a good standing, speaking like in a corporate organization? Because I'm enjoying your level of your mental, emotional activity, and what will be your personal solution?
The secret is to think positive, always to think positive.
Mm-hmm.
In any case, think positive. I don't know if I am able to speak in English. You must think to the glass half
empty,
full and not half
yes.
empty. Okay, this is the philosophy that is very, very important. The second thing, but nearly is the first thing, a great Italian poet who lived over 100 years was interviewed, and they asked to him, what's your secret for so long life? And he said, to choose well the parents.
Mm-hmm.
So there is also a genetic part of this success that is not depending only on the lifestyles, depend also of to be lucky and to have parents who live long, and so you have more probability to live long. Okay. But I like very much to eat. I like very much to drink. So I am not a good example of lifestyle. Huh? Okay.
It's a good example. Enjoying life is the main secret.
Because you are seeing me only like this. Because if I go up, I have I am a bit fat. Yeah. So Olena. You have a hand.
Yes, I would like to add just two things. Like conclusion, as far as our project is about inclusion and diversity, and we paid a lot of attention to active aging and gender equality, but we forgot today to talk about people with disability. But May 5th is the International Day of Protection of Persons with Disabilities Right. So it's very symbolical, and I would like to congratulate all of us. And it's very important, I think, so that we all discuss these problems in different issues from the different point of view. So it's also, I think, you also participate in how to say, in solving these problems. It's in our days as well, partly.
It's a lucky occasion. Okay. So I don't know what is the destiny of Diana. There is no more here, but I believe that you have reached your time. No rest all the mornings. Huh? From 9 o'clock to now, always working. We can stop the session now, and we can say bye and to see tomorrow, not with me, but with Diana, if you agree. Okay?
Up to you, dear Professor Moretti. Thank you very much for
Thank you to you for your attention.
Yeah, inspiring speech. Yeah.
I hope we can see together in the next month, or here, or in Ukraine, or in Poland, and the web. Okay?
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Bye. Bye. Bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Bye.
Ну что, дорогие Лены, дайте мне загадать желание. А уже все, Лена сбежала. Как у вас все те самые, все хорошо?
Да, все хорошо.
Все, ну мы тогда тоже выходим, не будем ждать Диану. Я те самые. Андрей уже тоже вышел, по-моему. Все, я выключаю, там уже без посторонних разговоров, потом свяжемся. Все, пока, пока.